Tears can pass through thoughts sometimes of all the things you've done. Sometimes, yeah, you wonder if the years have run too long. Chitter chat, you're looking back at the history chasing you. So why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? Reading you the news. Time to make my getaway. Time to trim the sails. Time to lift that anchor up. Dive into the gale. Blow in, move my ship along. Blow in, move my ship, make the breaking waves all run. Hello, my name is Michael Post. That was a song, Move My Ship. You can find it on Spotify. I just wanted to do a little bit of an intro about myself. I wanted to be a singer-songwriter, since I was young, at the age of 7. She's thinking of, I saw her yesterday. The Beatles. I heard that when I was 7. And I just said, wow, this is so great. I love music. I was singing Day Tripper, Nowhere Man, Try to See It My Way, Yesterday, all those songs, just phenomenal songs. And I just wanted to be involved in music. It wasn't until the age of 18, 19, because my family upbringing was such that, being a musician wasn't really the way to go, even though my father wanted to be a composer, and his father kind of tricked him a little bit and not going ahead with that. But I wanted to be a composer, and I finally, through kind of like a big monumental event in my life, decided that I was just going to be a composer and to write. So I started doing that. I bought this Yari guitar, 1975 Yari guitar, which cost me back then piles of money, but I had learned that you invest in something. If you love something, invest in it well. So I did. This is the guitar I always play. And I was writing songs, every day prodigiously, not great ones. There's one song actually I'm going to release called Do It All Again. It's the first song I ever wrote, just from a historic perspective. But anyway, was just writing. There's a guy that I grew up with in our neighborhood. His brother was a really good friend of mine. His name was Tom Berry. He was the chief executive of Anthem Records, who worked with Rush exclusively, and he was a big part of having Rush being so successful from a business perspective. And so I asked him, and he told me to talk to a guy named Paul Marshall. I worked with Paul Marshall. He gave me free studio time. He helped me. He really was interested in my songwriting, as other people were as well. I started to do well. But I realized that from a craftsman standpoint, I really kind of sucked. I wasn't, really good. I learned that lesson. I started working at Morgan Earl Sounds, and Paul Hoffert, who's like a phenomenal musician who had started the band Lighthouse, and he worked there exclusively, act as the head of music with his wife, Brenda, who did the copy material. Anyway, I just learned that I needed to get my act together in regards to my chops. And so I worked hard, studied with Darwin Aiken, piano. I also studied with Ivan Miracle. Anyway, just worked on music, and finally got accepted at Peabody Conservatory in Baltimore, did a bachelor's of music composition, a master's of musical composition, and also a Tonmeister degree in recording arts and science. And so I was writing music, for dance. I did music for an opera. I was just going full gun, electronic music. I was just absolutely loving it. And then I met Lisa, and Lisa is my wife. We've been married for 33 years now. She's absolutely my best friend, my partner for life. And we've had 3 children, 3 wonderful children, all who are creative in their own right. And so the first year I decided to make it work, but I realized that being a musician is a very sinusoidal life. I mean, your income is just going up and down, and I said, no, man, I don't want to do that. So it was my own personal decision based on saying, hey, I really want to make sure that there's a foundation for the family. So there was a why on the road, and I took the path to take care of my family. So I did that for 27 years, but all that time I was writing music. I was writing music in church, just writing all the time. And my kids benefited from it. You know, they would love to listen to what I was doing. And my son would say, you know, both of them, my son, all of them said, Dad, you know, this is great, great, which is a nice compliment to get from your kids. But you gotta finish the story. You gotta go back. And I agree. So I agreed. And so I just did some research, tried to find out if it would be New York or Los Angeles or Nashville. And it was kind of actually surprised that it was Nashville. Nashville is basically the songwriter capital of the United States. And so I said, oh, okay, this is where we're going to go. And bought a house. And it turns out we have a house on the same lake that country and westerns, Johnny Cash had a house on. And so it's kind of like, oh, well, this is fortuitous. I'm not Johnny Cash, I understand. But anyway, it was just really cool to be here and to hone my skills. I've been taking a musician on a mission from the digital side, being able to produce music in a home studio, and also and that's with Rob Mays from England, and then also Blake LaGrange, who was originally in Los Angeles area, moved to New York for Mastering Accelerator. So just really taking it seriously and trying to understand the craft, also the music business, which I think is really, really fun. So this is kind of a long-winded introduction of myself. I also have a website that I'm starting, michaelposs.com. It has a little bit of my history there. I'll be trying to release a song once a month and just going for it. And as my I was lying in bed one night and I said, man, Lisa, why am I doing this? What do I have to prove? And she said, Michael, he says, you have to make it exist. I mean, it's been in your head all this time. You've been working really hard. It's been in your head all this time. So dude, do it, and that's what I'm doing. And maybe many of you have got some kind of goal or dream or something that you want to do, and just say, yeah, I'm going to do it. My heart's in it. It doesn't, the success is secondary to just being faithful to doing it, and to try and to put your heart in it. And so that's what I'm doing. So I'm hoping to build a tribe of fellow people who enjoy what I'm doing, and I look forward to it. I'm going to put my heart and soul in it, and I'm really looking forward to being with all you as I move forward. So take care, and thanks for listening. All the best. Cheers. Bye-bye.